I put on our podcast, I listen to it and review it, so that's not getting done, right? So I'm not up, and it's just, yeah, that one thing literally increased the productivity of my day by like 50%. One small change.
And you don't always know until afterwards, and that's the problem. We don't see the benefits of a good habit or a good change until way later, so a lot of times we don't know. And more importantly, we don't see the detriments of a bad habit until we create a good one.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode. It was last week's live podcast, episode number 1016, The Importance of the People You Surround Yourself With. Today, for episode number 1017, one small change does more than you think. First of all, Alan, it feels like we just recorded the 1000th episode last week. So the fact that we've done 17 between then and now is truly mind-blowing to me.
Crazy.
That's my first point. Okay. You oftentimes do not realize how much something matters until you do. AKA, sometimes you don't know how important something is until something changes and you think to yourself, wow, that was actually fairly important. So you may or may not have heard of the great bed debacle of 2022. So Taryn and I had a queen bed, and it was Taryn's bed. She had it originally, and she likes her beds very soft, and I do not. I like my beds a little bit firm. So when we moved here, we started talking about getting a new bed because I said, babe, I'm not really sleeping well. I toss and turn a lot. I wake up sore. We're like smushed in the middle of the bed. It kind of sucks. Like, I think we need to get new beds. And we said, all right, we're going to do that. We're going to get new beds. So Alan and I had a discussion, and I was like, hey, these beds are going to be pretty expensive because we're going to get like an adjustable base, and it's going to be a split. So we're both going to have our own bed. It's going to be awesome. And we were like, all right, cool, let's do this. So we look, Taryn and I look on, I don't even remember what website it was, Tempur-Pedic, I think. And I end up ordering my mattress. And she's like, all right, cool, I'm going to get the same mattress. And I was like, all right, awesome. Let's do that. So we get our mattresses, we get our split bases, and when they come that night, we set them up. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's got lights underneath, and you click a button, and the legs come up. It's wild. It's got a cell phone charger built in. This is the best thing ever. So that first night, we go to sleep that first night, and then we wake up the next day, and I was like, babe, how did you sleep? And she's like, I did not sleep at all. This bed is horrible. I don't like it. It's too hard. And I was like, oh, man. Okay, cool. Well, I love mine. So let's figure out what the process of you returning yours is. And she's like, all right, that sounds good. Life got crazy, as it does. We got very, very busy. So in the meantime, between us figuring out her mattress that she just got and what we're going to do for a new mattress, she was sleeping in the office because we moved her old bed to the office. So Taryn was sleeping in the office. I was sleeping in the bedroom by myself. And that's when things started to get a little weird for me. So since she was in here, Alan, I would stay up later than usual because it was like, well, you know, I'm not keeping her up. She's got a TV in the office. I got a TV in here. I'm just going to hang out and watch a little Netflix, whatever it is, watch a little YouTube TV. So I would do that. Then my alarm would go off at 5:30 and I'd be like, nah, not going to do that today. I'm going to go back to bed. I need my rest. My body's a temple. I need my rest. So I would go back to sleep. And every day I would start my day off kind of breaking a promise to myself. And we've talked about that in the past. So that kept happening. I kept staying up later than I should, sleeping later than I should, and not feeling good about myself. And the other problem, Alan, was since Taryn was sleeping in here, I couldn't come in here in the morning because I didn't want to wake her up, right? If she's sleeping till 7 or 8, I want to let her sleep. And I don't want to come in here, turn on all the lights, and start working. So that was a little bit jeffing me as well. So I was trying to figure that out. So we order another bed. And the bed comes, and we're like, awesome. We unroll the bed, we unravel it, we throw it up on the frame, and we're like, this is going to be perfect. And she sleeps on it, wakes up the next day. She's like, too soft. Worst thing ever. It's got springs in it. It's terrible. I can't do it. Like, all right, okay. So we take that bed out, and we actually left that bed in there. I continue sleeping in there by myself. Same thing. I'm still staying up late. I'm still sleeping in. And we end up ordering another bed. It got here like, when did it get here? Last Thursday, I think. So as you know, I say this every week, every single episode. We record our episodes on Monday. So the new bed came last Thursday. I was like, this is going to be great. let's do it. And at this point, it's kind of a running joke for us of like, let's just throw it on there and then we can return it like all the other ones. So we unravel it. We put it on the bed. She lays on it. She's like, this is awesome. This bed is perfect. And I was like, cool. All right. So we go to bed. We wake up the next day. And that was the first day I set an alarm. I think I set it for 5 or 5:30. And we went to bed on time together, set an alarm. I woke up, went to the gym, started my day awesome, came in the office, and I still had 3 hours before my first call. And I was like, whoa. My life just got way better. And I feel way less stressed because I have way more time now, and I'm not rolling out of bed 15 minutes before my meeting being just senior Jeff out here Jeffing. So now it's been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been 5 days, 4 days. And every single day I have gotten up anywhere from 5 to 6:30, gone to the gym, come into the office, and started my day with momentum. And all of that changed, all of that shifted, all of that pivoted based on Taryn coming back into the bedroom with me. That one small change has impacted my life not only in health because I'm getting up and going to the gym, wealth because I'm more productive, and love because now we spend every night together. And we weren't doing that. It was kind of like she was next door. So it was just a little bit of a struggle. That one small thing that we did, and I understand not everybody's going to go buy a new bed, but just for the point of this episode, that one small pivot created so much more momentum, but I forgot what it was like to have that momentum when we made those changes. When I was sleeping in there by myself, there was a part of me that was like, this is awesome. It's like I'm almost on vacation. You know, I can stay up late. I can watch whatever I want. It was like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. And then it became a detriment. And now I really feel like I'm on point. I feel like I'm back to the point where I was before. And genuinely, I feel better. Am I sleeping in? No, but I'm getting 8 hours of sleep, which that's all you really need, right? I don't need to be sleeping 10 hours a day. And I feel like I'm productive. I feel like I'm pouring more into the business. I feel more fulfilled. I feel more aligned. But that was all based on one single thing. Taryn went from sleeping in the other room to sleeping in bed with me again. And that is how one small thing can really impact you in a big way.
And now we have something called the Next Level Mattress. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, that's going to be what we talk about today.
Yeah, what we talk about today is we have this new mattress that you can buy for 4 easy payments of
$1 million.
I'm just joking. Okay, so the ripple effect of the one small change is really what I want to focus on here. And I have an example as well. And I think that we didn't intend on this necessarily, Kev, but the environmental change, if you've ever moved from home to home or apartment to home or whatever, you realize that your entire daily routine just gets completely messed up. When Emilia and I first moved into this condo, I remember we had no couch. We had an empty condo. There was nothing here. We had moved stuff in, but most of the stuff was in the basement and packed. We didn't have a bed. I remember the first time we got here, we didn't want to leave. We were going to go back and sleep in our beds. And we're like, we can't leave. We want to stay here. This is our home now. And so we slept. There's a video of me with Tucker in the morning. She took a little video, memory video. And it's me and Tucker sleeping on just an empty room. Imagine a completely empty bedroom, huge bedroom, and an 85-inch or 80-inch TV, huge TV. And that's the only thing in the room except for me laying on blankets, basically on a carpet with a pillow. And so we weren't intending on this. One small change does more than you think. I think that what this is going to end up being a little bit more of is one small change in your environment makes a massive difference. I read a book called Switch. Your Taryn will probably enjoy that book if she's never read it because it's a behavioral analyst. Dan and Chip Heath, they talk about, I've talked about this on one of the episodes before, the elephant, the rider, and the path. So in this analogy, we all have an elephant, a rider, and a path. And the elephant is your emotions and your emotional eating and stuff like that. For us in our kitchen, we try to hide the chips in the cabinets so that you can't see them. Because when I walk up the stairs to go to my office, Emilia and I both fast during the day. And for a while there, we had the chips up where you could see them. And it was so hard. I remember seeing the chips in the morning on my way up to my office. And then the whole way up, the stairs, it's like, I could totally eat those Doritos. Like, I could totally do that. But that's the elephant is the emotional part that wants to eat all the time and watch Netflix and relax, and the comfort seeker. You've got the rider, which is the rational part of your brain that knows that you have to have challenge today for a brighter tomorrow. And then you've got the path, which is your environmental design. And essentially what this book is based on, putting this book in one sentence, is if there's peanuts off the path, the elephant is going to overpower the rider, because the elephant is stronger than the rider. And every single one of us, our emotions sometimes overtake us. Whenever you have a tough day at work, like you end up eating Ben and Jerry's or whatever, even though you're on a diet. I've been there. So we all have to have all three of those dialed in, but this one small change does more than you think. Really is setting up the path for success. Because that one change with the bed and Taryn sleeping in the room with you, like you said, your sleep's more on point. Your relationship's more on point. You're obviously more productive. I didn't realize how unproductive you were for a couple weeks there. I'm sure the business suffered a little bit.
Probably.
It's all good. And the example that I want to use, I have a similar one. It was Emilia's idea. Full credit to her. And I've said this before on past episodes. When you leave our bedroom, we had our charging station right there on the right. We have this big wooden bar looking thing with like a mirror on it and plants and all that. And we had the charging station right there. So the moment that I got out of the bedroom, which was in the morning, because she usually sleeps a little later than I do, I would immediately go grab my phone and my AirPods, and I'd end up down the rabbit hole of texts or WhatsApp or emails. And we now charge our phones upstairs. So we changed the charging station. We both have AirPods and we both have phones. And at night, after we're done doing the Next Level 9 and the NLU Fit Pick Challenge, we essentially, I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring our devices up. Do you want me to bring your device up? I'm going to bring our devices up. So we don't allow devices on the first floor anymore, really. It's kind of like our own sort of rule now. And we have our two offices are upstairs with a bathroom upstairs. We've got a little mini fridge in the bathroom with Zoas in it, which is our preferred caffeine. And then we've got our charging station in what we call the Nook. And the Nook is a little landing between her office and my office, where she has a big comfy chair and I have a big comfy chair. And we both have plugs, and there's like a little night light. There's an Alexa there for when we put deep focus and peaceful piano. And then we have our charging station right in between us. And there's actually a lamp in the center, and then Tucker has his little bed there as well. And so we're set up for success. We work upstairs. We don't work downstairs. That's kind of the new feng shui of the household. And the ripple effect of that one change of the charging stations being upstairs has been truly magnificent, to the point where I've stopped Emilia several different times throughout the last couple months. And I've said, sweetheart, that was like the best idea you've ever had. Like, my whole life has changed. Like, it's so nice to have our work upstairs and our not work downstairs. The moment that we are done tonight on the live podcast, Kev, that I leave downstairs, I'm going to close my laptop, unhook it. I'm going to bring my Remarkable and stuff, and I'm going to put it right next to my place in the Nook. I have like a little nightstand next to my seat there. And then when I go downstairs, I'm going to transition from work mode into fitness and family mode. And I'm going to make sure the chicken is ready and the rice, and I'm going to go to the gym, and then I'm going to come back. It's like the best. But at the end of the day, that one small change of the charging stations upstairs, you don't sit there and logically think, oh, okay, if we put our devices upstairs instead of downstairs, we're going to increase our quality of life by a ridiculous margin. And you don't always know until afterwards, and that's the problem. We don't see the benefits of a good habit or a good change until way later, so a lot of times we don't know. And more importantly, we don't see the detriments of a bad habit until we create a good one, right? You don't always know you're not at your best until you're not. You know, at first, like you said, it was like Home Alone.
It was good. It felt
was
nice.
awesome at
It was
first.
like,
right.
This is a little different than usual. This is a little novel. It's a little, there's a little bit of variety here. I enjoyed it until I realized that I wasn't off the rails. I was still working and all that, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same level of Kevin getting up early, feeling on purpose, feeling fulfilled. And the other part too, Alan, is it was very hard for me to get to the gym because I was waking up at 8 versus 5. So, okay, what happens when I don't go to the gym? When I don't go to the gym, I don't do 20 minutes of cardio. 20 minutes of cardio, I'm always learning. I watch a YouTube video on finance or whatever. I'm not doing exercise, so I do mobility later. On the ride home from the gym, I always listen to the podcast. So when I transition from lifting to going home, which is like a 10-minute process, I put on our podcast, I listen to it and review it. So that's not getting done, right? So I'm not up. And it's just, yeah, that one thing literally increased the productivity of my day by like 50%. One small change.
Hey everyone, I'm Helen Baker from Melbourne, Australia. I'm an entrepreneur and a client of Alan's from Next Level University. I've had many business coaches in the past, and I can honestly say that Alan is seriously next level, and excuse the pun, but he has this unique ability to help you find a solution to your business problems using his intellect and his business modeling and his genuine, heartfelt desire to help you achieve your goals. I can be vulnerable with Alan, I can share anything and feel comfortable in his presence, knowing that at the end of our coaching sessions, I feel empowered to do incredible things. So if you're looking for a business coach, I highly recommend Alan because his advice and his ability to coach you will be instrumental in achieving your success.
Kev, have you ever heard of, and I'm sure you have, the butterfly effect?
Yes.
Okay,
Ashton Kutcher movie also.
Yeah, it is. Have you seen it? Quite the
Long
thriller.
time ago.
Interesting.
Long time ago.
In that movie, and I meant the butterfly effect, the theory, not the movie, but in the
I
movie,
figured.
he goes back and changes one small thing in the past, and it changes his entire future, like in a wild, drastic way. And that's what we're talking about here. So everyone think about something they did in the past that if they made a different choice, their whole future would have been different. For Kevin and I, imagine if we didn't partner up. Crazy, right? Yeah. That one courageous moment, I was talking to I know we got to go here soon, but I was talking to one of my clients. One of my current clients, absolutely crushing it, sent me a really kind message this past weekend, in fact. And he said, "You've changed my whole life," something along those lines. And I saved it. I'm so grateful. But it must have been about a year ago. I was on the Stairmaster. I think I told this story before. I was on the Stairmaster. And all of a sudden, this young guy comes over to me with his phone out with our podcast on. And he is holding it up to me to get my attention. And I'm in the gym, so I'm not paying attention. But I'm like, oh. And he was listening to our show on the treadmill, which was so cool.
Yeah.
And so, we got to talking, which was awesome. And eventually, Emilia's like, I want to meet him. So me and Emilia went and talked to him. And then he ended up a client. And now here we are about a year later. And so many of his dreams are coming true. As far as clients go, he is crushing his goals. He's got a new apartment with his girlfriend. He's going into business with his brother. He's saved, I don't know, a lot of money. I'll just leave it there, protect his privacy. But that one courageous moment, instead of sitting on the treadmill and just being like, oh, wow, that's Alan. Cool. I'm listening to Alan, and there he is right there. He came over to me, right? And if he hadn't done that, let's say he was intimidated or whatever by my huge bicep. I'm kidding. I'm not very intimidating. But let's say he was intimidated and didn't do that. What would be different, right? How different would his life be? And this is still the beginning. And the very last thing I'll say here is Kevin and I crunched some numbers earlier. We were looking at our revenue and listens and consistency. And we were looking at the growth rate of our revenue over the last month. And we did a financial calculator and we did crunch some numbers. And essentially we looked at the difference between 0.1% growth per day versus 0.3% growth per day. We looked at it over 13 years because we are optimizing for, I believe, 2035. So 2035 is 13 years. Mm-hmm. And it is a drastic difference. It's like wildly drastic. And I don't know if you want to speak to that quickly before we go.
I don't remember the numbers. I think it was like, what was it, 285 million versus 9 billion? Was that what the difference was?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Which is wild. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
And that's all based on one little small input. It does not seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it really is. And
I think that's Taryn's bed. Like that's what that, but for well-being and for quality of life, right? It's the same idea. Go ahead.
This is only, no, you're good. This is only 4 days. So what happens when I get back into the routine that I was actually in before, when I was getting up every day? It was easy for me to wake up. There was no like, when my alarm goes off, I have to suffer through it. It was just like, it's time to get up now. That I have to rebuild. But once that is there, everything gets a little bit easier. And now there's more time. I was unreasonably overwhelmed the last few weeks because, to your point, Alan, and this was partially my intention when I decided on this, but our environment was not set up as well as it has been in the past. Where the beauty is, usually I wake up, I leave, the cats follow me out, I shut the door, Taryn keeps sleeping, the cats go lay down or whatever, run around the office like maniacs, and then I can do whatever I want here. I got the TV, I can listen to my music, my peaceful piano, whatever. So that's a whole nother thing. But I think that we often forget how impactful something is until we stop doing it. And then it's like, oh, yeah, that's why I was doing that. I didn't realize how on point I was. So ask yourself that question. This is my takeaway for you if you're watching or if you're listening. Think back to a time when things felt, and I don't want to say easy, but easier. My days felt easier, Alan, because I was getting up 3 hours earlier. Of course they're going to feel easier because I have 3 more hours in the day. And lately I've been on podcasts all day, basically. So I haven't had a lot of back office time. Those 3 hours in the morning are so important for me to do the back office stuff, to reply to messages, whatever else it may be. So you don't often know how important something is until you stop doing it. And then you realize, wow, that thing was really important for my success.
This is a good one.
I enjoyed this one.
Same.
Any chance to talk about the great bed debacle of 2022 is a good one.
It was more of a debacle than I thought. I knew it was a whole thing, but
if you saw The Office right now,
that's good.
There's a bed right here. There's 2 beds. So there's the guest bed, and then there's the other mattress that we have to return still. It's a whole thing. Returning a mattress is a giant pain in the butt, and it costs like $200.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Man.
Damn, man.
Try it out for free for 90 days. But if you want to return it, just cut us a check for several $100s. Like, thank you. All right.
Sounds good.
Next level nation. Many people, when the summer comes, the weather gets hot, people are out hanging by the pool, having margaritas, whatever it may be. Sometimes their goals take a back seat. And at NLU, we are always focused on our goals and helping you get to the next level of your life. Our 7th round of group coaching is starting July 12th. And it is bi-weekly calls with Alan and myself. There's a private WhatsApp group with everybody else in the group. We have a workbook. This will be the best group ever because we've done it 6 other times. We have a bunch of lessons that we have learned, and we realize what will really help you get to the next level. We're only taking 10 people. We already have several, and we have a list of people we got to reach out to. So if you're interested, make sure you reach out. If you're not an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. If you're not a business owner, it doesn't matter. This is a great opportunity for you to get a little bit outside of your comfort zone and to learn a lot. So please join us if you're interested. Link is in the show notes.
If you've ever played sports when you were younger, imagine that same sport, but you didn't have any coaches. It would be a lot harder to get better at something if you don't have a coach. At Next Level Business Solutions, even if you don't have a big business, I'm leaning into achievement. So whatever that sport was, let's say it was soccer and you had a coach and then you had multiple coaches and then you played in high school and then who knows, maybe you went beyond that. All of those coaches probably knew the game of soccer really, really well and probably coached for many, many years. I'm 33 years old. I've been coaching people on how to achieve their dreams quite literally my entire life, even before I knew I was actually doing that. I was always talking goals and dreams. I was always talking achievement. I always found a way to achieve everything I set my mind to. And I'm still in that process, and I'm very good at it. So I want to help you. My dream is to help you achieve your dreams. And that's what I want to do at Next Level Business Solutions. So if you're open to the coaching idea, I can promise you it's going to change your life far more than anything else can. And I've actually been humbled in that because I remember one time I was coaching someone who had listened to our podcast for many, many years. And then once I started coaching this person, their life changed a lot more drastically. And they started to achieve a lot more in a very short amount of time. And it was like, okay, so the podcast is great. And the podcast is great. And I appreciate it. 1% improvement every single day. I'm grateful you're all listening. But coaching is another level. It's going to dial the podcast up. Imagine the value you've gotten from this show times 10 every single time we jump on an hour-long session. We can dig deep. Next Level Business Solutions. Give it a shot. The first call is completely free. Reach out.
And I might be the best shining example of results because Alan has been coaching me since basically the beginning. Alan was my original, the OG mentor that I never knew I needed and sometimes didn't want. But now I'm very grateful that I have because I think sometimes something that seems like a pain in the butt is the thing that changes you the most, especially when that person oftentimes knows what's best for you. I think that's why it's the pain in the butt. I told Alan this, and then we'll get off here. I told Alan I always know when I'm jeffing because I'll get a bunch of messages, and I'm like, dude, stop messaging me. Stop messaging me on the weekends because I know I'm jeffing because I know Alan knows what's best in the long run. So yeah, I would speak very highly about Alan's coaching. I've been very blessed to get it for free for the last 5 years or 6 years. Very blessed. I've actually been
You actually
paid.
get paid to get
I
coached.
get paid to get coached by Alan, so it's a pretty good deal. Next Level Nation tomorrow for episode number 1018. Last week's live podcast, we had the Q&A at the end. This is the live Q&A. What's harder, removing toxic people or attracting new people from your life? We were talking about the importance of the people you surround yourself with in that episode. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Please reach out.